What is up, guys? Eric here from BBM Productions, here with a video on the weaknesses of Ilia Topuria. Now, guys, I was planning to do this a few days ago, but I didn't have time, and I wanted to make this shorter real quick. Now, I'm already started making the video, but when I was like, pause, let me redo it, make it shorter. Alright, guys, so in light of all the fights that have been announced, etc., and everybody wanting Ilia versus Islam Makhachev, I wanted to point out the weaknesses of Ilia Topuria. So, many people focus on the head kick opening and the one that dropped him way back from Jai Herbert. And they want to focus on the jabs that he is weak to. So let's start off with the jab. Then we start with the kick. Then I will mention two other things that he has openings for. So first off, the kick. The head kick thing. Oh, wait, no, the jab, sorry. Jab. So, Ilia Topuria does get hit by people's jabs quite often. But I need to put a pin into that argument. Because fighters, okay, let me first say, he is inspired by fighters like Canelo Alvarez in boxing. I'm as well, that's why I know about this. The same technique. It's something I watched a video about after a year or so of watching Canelo's fights. Because I knew of Canelo, but I didn't watch his fights religiously years back. I was focused on MMA. But anyway, so Topuria has said publicly that Canelo is one of his favorite boxers. Probably his favorite boxer, in fact. And an inspiration to him. It explains how he moves. And what I mean is, when he gets jabbed in the face in the first round, especially the first round, etc. If you guys go look, he gets hit more in the first round with that same shot. He does it on purpose. He lets them land. Now, Canelo Alvarez does the same thing. Reason why? When somebody touches you, and guess who I learned this from? Shout out to Firas Zahabi, the man, the legend. He actually mentions this in one of the videos he had with Shane Faison, where he says, in the first minute or so, I let the guy hit me. I want to feel his power and I want to gauge his distance. There's the reason why. So, when somebody hits you and you step in slowly, like Canelo Alvarez with the weird head movement and Topuria with the X movement, if you step in and the guy lands and you see how far you were when he landed through your guard, on your nose, on your chin, whatever, and you see, that is when you know that is how far away he is. Then, from there, Topuria times people. So he lets them land the jab, and then he times them with the overhand or the up jab. If you guys go look, he doesn't jab where he curves to land with the front knuckles. He doesn't curve it. He up jabs. He lands, and then he hops and hits. The hop is scary to his opponent because his opponent thinks the hop means overhand's coming, which it is. It's still ready. You can see him loading it up just for in case this guy anticipates it. And then depending on where they go, he just aims which shot he wants to throw. And then it still sets up the overhand, the right hand, the body shot, the straight right to the body, or the left hook, etc. It sets up everything. It's just he lets you hit him with the jab, and then boom. So, put a pin in that one, guys. The reason why he lets that happen is just so he can find his distance. That's why in the first round versus Volkanovski, he was getting peppered in the face. So much so that his nose bled. He let it happen. Now, you guys, if you guys want another reason behind this, well, if you want to see my point proven, sorry guys, I'm scattered brained right now. Anyway, if you guys want another point on why that is the truth, is because Volkanovski showed he's a very quick jabber in the Max Holloway free fight, the third fight. He was so quick with it, and same with the Korean zombie fight. He's very quick. So, cool. That's why he couldn't time Volk in that first round. Volk was so quick that it took him that whole round to download data. Canelo Alvarez does this often in boxing as well, and he's an inspiration for Topuria. So put a pin in that one, because he'll let you jab him, doesn't really do that much to him. It's so that he can find his distance, which is very smart because I don't know of any other fighter who does that in the UFC right now. Maybe Dricus du Plessis. Maybe. Next up, the head kick thing. So, when Topuria throws, he throws it like this, or like this, with the whole body cocked and ready. It's because your muscles get loaded, and then the power transfer comes. But you see, it's very open. It's very open on that side. And on this side, he drops his hand. And that's why he got head kicked by Jai Herbert. Now, the problem is, no southpaw has landed that same kick. And setting up that kick is a problem because he usually blocks like this. One arm. And people mention that it's a problem that he blocks with one arm because of the kick's power can still get through. That is true, however, he won't block that way unless if he feels somebody's power is too strong for him to handle this way. That's why he still blocks that way. Otherwise, he'll do X-guard. Because there is literally a photo frame of him X-guarding like this, which means the power of the kick, you push down, and then you sink down so that it gets absorbed by your muscles, your forearms, etc. Now, in relation to the Islam fight, if he fights Islam in the future, he's a southpaw. No southpaw has landed that same head kick on him. That means he is a bit more well guarded in that way. His defense is fine for that kick. So unless Islam does something that he doesn't really do, where he shifts and then throws the switch kick up, high kick, well, then most likely that's not going to land. With guys like Dustin Poirier and other guys at 155, they don't throw that kick. The only guy that would throw a kick like that from Orthodox now and might land it is Yair Rodriguez. So far that I can think of. I wonder, do I have the athlete rankings open? No, I don't. Okay, no, don't worry. But you guys get what I mean. Also, sometimes Topuria's defense is actually fine or okay. That means it's just an issue on and off. It's not really a big issue. That's why he hasn't been dropped by other guys. And he won't get dropped by a guy like Volkanovski because of Volkanovski's length. Unfortunately, it's one of the places where being tall really helps. What else? Leg kicks. People mention the leg kicks. The same thing he does with the jab is what he does with the leg kicks. And also, I think Ilia Topuria does this thing where unless I can take it, I won't react to it. That means if a leg kick is very hard, like very painful, and he sees, oh shit, at one point this is going to weaken me, then that's when he probably would like get away from leg kicks. But unless it doesn't hurt him, he's just going to walk through it. And that's why he doesn't check leg kicks. I think he's conditioned extremely well and he allows it to happen. Now, in the Max Holloway fight, Max Holloway used his famed down stomp on the knee. And the reason why Max Holloway uses it is actually to set up his strikes and also to put him in position to set up his strikes. And lastly, he does it to use as a feint. So when he doesn't have his distance and he's not landing properly, like he was kind of struggling a bit to land clean and consistently versus Ilia Topuria. He uses the stomp and to move forward, kind of like how Sean Strickland uses the teep, where he lifts his knee and then just sits down as a way to cover distance. That is why he was trying to do that versus Ilia Topuria, and Ilia Topuria did not react. That means he didn't really allow for it to push him back much. I don't think he actually was pushed back ever by it. And other times, he was moving in a certain way where it was missing. And the reason why it wasn't working is because he kept moving forward. And when Max landed and he missed, he knew, oh no, I'm out of balance, well, off balance, and now I'm in danger. And it was true because of the TKO at the end. Well, knockout. I feel that was a full-blown knockout. But anyway, that is why leg kicks does not really bother him that much. He legit just allows you to wail on him and he'll walk through it. Now, there's one fighter at 155 that if he ever fights him, this is a big problem. It is Justin Gaethje. Gaethje would chew up his legs, and everybody has felt Gaethje's kicks and been like, oh crap, I can't take this. I genuinely think Gaethje has crazy good power or very effective kicks. And that's the only guy that I really think would be a bad matchup on the feet for Topuria, unless Gaethje's chin has been cracked completely by Max Holloway and Oliveira, etc. What was the last one? There was one more, guys. I've seen. Scatterbrained right now. Oh, yes. The left hook. The opening of the left hook. I need to explain this, guys. It's something that people, for some odd reason, just doesn't mention. And I'm like, why? This is a big hole in his game. This is bad. It was bad for Canelo, and he clearly throws it the way Canelo throws it. Canelo Alvarez likes to duck and then throw it wide as well, around the guard. So when somebody in boxing is standing like this, he likes to land here on the sides. Or he likes throwing it, and then the guy thinks, oh no, it's up top, and then it lands on the body, and then he drops people. Or he gets them to hunch over, dropping their hands, and then he throws the right hand. Think of the Kovalev knockout. Left hook and right hand. And guess who throws it that way as well? Topuria. That's why he knocked out Volkanovski. And many other guys. Jai Herbert, poor dude. Wham, bam, and then he was on the floor. Because Topuria hits very hard. But anyway, nobody has found out a positional spot. Well, they haven't found a way to trigger the hook to come where they are ready to retaliate. They're just running like, oh my goodness, this guy's power for his size, what the hell is happening? And because of that, they get knocked out. If any guy, and this is where Justin Gaethje again, Rafael Fiziev, Gaethje, who else in the top? Nobody else. Arman Suzuki doesn't have the striking. He really does not have the striking to do this. He has the wrestling to compete because of his size as well on top. No, he doesn't have the striking. Poirier, because of the southpaw problem, it's not there. Poirier does have the right hook, the lead right hook. However, how is he going to set that up? Because he usually just likes flick, flick, throwing the hook. Flick, flick, straight, flick, and then throws the hook. He doesn't really have an overhand and then throwing the left right hook combo or something like that. Like, he doesn't have a setup for it. So he's not going to be able to land that from his position. So I'm counting him out. Gaethje, however. Justin Gaethje has this thing where he lifts up his hands and then he throws that baseball bat kick to the inner leg, to the inner thigh or outer thigh in this. Wait, no, in this situation would be inner. And then he's in a very close proximity position where he can land the overhand. Now, when somebody is orthodox versus orthodox. Sorry, guys, I'm a switch hitter, so it doesn't really matter for me. So when somebody is orthodox and the other guy opens up, they are open, full blast open on this whole side. That means if he can throw that kick, land, here comes that shot, and then throw overhand straight. You need to be faster, because if you don't land that thing straight, that shot's not landing and you're getting a bomb of a body shot. So the gamble will be it's a liver shot that's coming your way. But the other gamble, well, if you win, you smother that left hook, and two, you land cleanly on the jaw. So when, from this position, okay guys, from this position, on this side, Topuria will be open. He will be like this. So you will only see that. And then if you throw it like this, straight, and you curve it straight on the chin, you can really hurt him, because it will be a car crash. You're creating a car crash. And Gaethje is the only guy that I can see landing that shot. Now here's the problem. Would Gaethje and his coaches see this if they ever fought? That's another problem. Like, will they ever fight? Will Gaethje and his coaches see this? Will Gaethje be able to implement this at all? Because it's good and fine I'm pointing out a hole in somebody's game, and this is what I like about unique fighters. You point out a hole in their game and think, okay, somebody's just going to do it. Then it never happens, or somebody tries and they just never land it. Why? Because they are that good. So that is the biggest opening, and it's the hardest one to execute. If Ilia Topuria gets, how do I say this? If somebody figures out a game plan to land that same shot and smother that left hook of his, then he has no more setup for the big overhand, because when the overhand comes or the right hand comes, it will be smothered. It will still land, but it won't land as hard, especially if he is knocked dizziness, that means knocked silly, from the car crash that you just created. And I love doing that. It's something I love when I'm fighting. I like forcing people, setting them up, and then when they come in, I create a car crash. And usually that's when the guy just drops like a sack of potatoes, because that guy did not see this punch coming, or they think because of my size, my stature and stuff, that it's not possible for me to land a shot that's heavy or land a certain shot from a certain angle. And then when I land it, the same thing happens, because I like timing. And when I time, that person folds, because it's not just my punch that's hitting you, it's your own body weight. You're essentially headbutting my fist. And that is something that at the highest level is very hard to do. Like, I see guys do stuff like this, and then you don't see the punch coming, or it landed, but you didn't see it. Think Gervonta Davis, think Abdullah Mason with his fight the other day. Well, some of his knockouts, actually. Keyshawn Davis does it as well, but Keyshawn, though, is a bit slower. He's frozen in a way where the opponent is seeing it coming, and they just can't do anything. He doesn't do that zap shot. Like, he doesn't do that, where he zaps people, and then people are like, where did the shot come from? And we rarely see that anymore from MMA fighters the last while. Interesting. But yeah, point is, those are the weaknesses of Ilia Topuria. This is off the top of my head, so sorry for a few mistakes. But if you guys want to, you can go corroborate what I'm saying here. It's very fun for me to point this out and think, how would I beat this person? I remember I used to think about Khabib in this way, because he was the biggest puzzle, and probably still is. My words were that nobody else is Khabib, and look now, people are saying the Dagestani era is ending. I'm like, no, it's just what I've been saying for years is true. These other people are not as special as Khabib. They are special, clearly championship level, Umar, Islam, Usman, but they're not his level. Not even Hamza Chimaev. They're not Khabib's level. Not nearly as good. Yeah, it's insane to think about. But yeah. Cheers, guys. I'm going to make the other videos now. Cheers. Bye.